together they are known as Medicane, like the kind of hurricane that is originated in the Mediterranean Sea. Commonly it is known as a Medicanes. Okay, so important prelims for prelims point of view, maybe they can ask question like what is Medicane and it is related with what, and maybe in paper 2 they can ask it under international relationship. So yeah, let's see. So recently, scientists have warned that extratropical storm, which is also known as a tropical storm, in the Mediterranean Sea, known as the Medicanes or Mediterranean hurricanes, could become more frequent due to human-induced climate change. Okay, so for prelims point of view, only this much is important. Like, okay, what is Medicane, and what else they can ask, like whether it is an extratropical storm or the temperate storm. So that also we got to know. It's an extratropical storm. Okay. Now the frequency of these storms has become more. Now why that happened? Because of human-induced climate activities, and you know our global see every passing year the temperature of earth is keep increasing, so all these things we know. Okay, now what is Medicane? Let's understand it in detail. So Medicane are the tropical like cyclones formed over the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, with the surrounding dry climate and the relatively shallow waters of the sea, the occurrence of tropical like cyclone is infrequent. Okay, so generally in Mediterranean Sea, here we can see less activity in terms of the cyclone, in terms of the tides, in terms of the other phenomena. Why? Because it is surrounded by a dry climatic condition, and it has relatively shallow water as compare if we compare with the other seas. So that is the reason why uh, earlier we were not able to see such kind of the phenomena, but due to global warming and due to other human activities, now the climate is changing, so these kind of cyclones are occurring in the Mediterranean ocean sea. Okay, they typically form in the fall or winter months and occur once or twice a year, but now the frequency has been increased. Okay, so now this is happening more than twice a year. So on September 1820, a Medicane named Lanos, again this can also be important for prelims point of view, made landfall along the coast of Greece and caused heavy rainfall and flooding in the Greece and the surrounding island. So what we can learn from prelims point of view from this news? Number one, what is Medicane? Okay. Then there can be a question like what are the conditions that is important for forming a cyclone? If they want to go more into detail, then they can ask question related with the cyclone, tropical cyclone and temperate cyclone. Now, when you are reading, when you are studying geography, at least try to connect things. For example, why in the area, suppose if this is a globe, okay, here we have okay, so if I talk about especially tropical cyclones, so generally they form somewhere in the tropical region, right? Now the thing is, why generally any kind of cyclone does not form over the equator? Can anyone answer this question? Any idea? What is the reason, like why we cannot find cyclone in near to the equator? Or generally there was a report as well that generally cyclone does occur especially away from 5 degree? What is the main reason?
Due to global warming, I think so, ma'am.
So according to you, this global warming thing that take place away from the equator?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. See, Prajwal, this
No.
is related with you Coriolis 4. Have you ever heard about Coriolis 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah. So generally in equator, Coriolis 4 is negligible. Okay. And it is somewhere related with the deflection of the wind. And that give reason, a strong reason for forming a cyclone. So just go through your geography textbook and just read it more about what are the cyclones, what are the conditions, and when they form, and why it doesn't occur generally near to the equator. Okay, so just Google it, or just have a quick read so that this thing also can be done. Okay. Acha, I want you to read one more thing. Why near to the equator, or why in the equator Coriolis force is 0? Okay, or why it is negligible? And in northern hemisphere, we, because of the Coriolis force, wind deflected in which direction, and in southern hemisphere, wind directed in which direction. So all these things just have a quick, revisit, because in prelims sometimes they just give one option or two options, something like that. So that sometime if you do not have idea, it can become a tricky question. Okay. Another thing, another what can come from here. See, we need to interlink topic, because you have seen the paper recently. They ask question directly, indirectly, right? So just don't focus on the news which is happening in your recent time, but try to link it as well. Okay, what else you can learn from things? See, whenever you see any topic, now do one thing. Try to generate more question from yourself as well. Sometime in the news they will not mention that, okay, this kind of question can also ask. It should be your curiosity level. You need to be very curious. Okay, what else can be you can take from this slide? Whether Mediterranean Sea is landlocked, or it is open. Anyone, any idea?
Ma'am, it is landlocked, ma'am. Sorry. Mediterranean Sea.
It is landlocked.
No, ma'am, it is surrounded with three sets of water, ma'am.
Okay. And there is a one small strait that is connecting Mediterranean Sea with which ocean?
Ma'am, Gulf of um,
Okay. So I have included that in the next slide. You will get to know. So yeah. So suppose in the news, Medicaid was in the news, right? So at least get a fair idea about the Mediterranean Sea and the country which is nearby Mediterranean Sea, because this is a very you can say the favorite kind of topic for UPSC. Like ऐसे questions वो पूछते हैं कि कौन सी country किससे border share करती है, and then ocean, so on. Yeah, so just read more about Mediterranean Sea as well. Their location, the countries, and kahan se there is a opening, another matter related with the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, so I think three things you can additionally read it out separately. One, what is Mediterranean? Then difference between the tropical cyclone and temperate cyclone, and then the geographical location of the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, now this is your Mediterranean Sea, and you can clearly see from here Strait of Gibraltar. This is connecting it from Atlantic Ocean. So this is the map, and here you may not able to find things in detail. So you can you can refer to Atlas as well. Okay, moving on. Okay, so our next topic is Margdarshika for Gram Panchayat and Pani Samiti under Jal Jeevan Mission. Okay. So what you need to know? First, you need to understand what is Jal Jeevan Mission. Okay. So Margdarshika, this word is derived from the Hindi word. Margdarshika means something to give path, like Darshika. I hope you are understanding. What?
Leading, ma'am. Leading.
Yeah, leading, exactly. So let's see kya hai. So recently, Indian Prime Minister released the new logo for the Jal Jeevan Mission. I hope you people have seen that logo, that tap water and then small drops, as a something like that. So Margdarshika for Gram Panchayat and Pani Samiti under Jal Jeevan Mission. It is a basically guidelines for the village panchayat and water committee. So basically kya hai? Margdarshika is a stand for the Gram Panchayat and Pani Samiti. Now, what is Pani Samiti? Pani Samiti basically, suppose if there is a village, so under this village there will be a group of, let's say, 20 to 25 women who are basically involved in the managing of water. They are also taking care that how these water are going to be supplied in all the household in that particular area. Okay. Now what we can understand from and what are the key takeaways जो हमको समझना है for the examination point of view. So referring to the Margdarshika, it was highlighted that they are equally important for the Gram Panchayat people living in rural areas and the government machinery. So basically this Margdarshika is related with the Gram Panchayat. This we need to understand. Means it is somewhere related with the rural area, and under those rural area, what is the mission, like in which area they are going to give direction. So it is related with the water. Now what kind of water, whether it is related with the agriculture for the irrigation purpose? No, it is related to supplying the piped water. So let's see what else is important here. So the Margdarshika guideline will guide the members of water committee and Gram Panchayat in taking the right decision, like what kind of decision they have to follow. Okay, why this is important and why it came into the news. So a special 100-day campaign is being launched on 2nd October this year under Jal Jeevan Mission to ensure drinking water connection to every school and Anganwadi in the country. Okay. So I hope you know what is Anganwadi. Now, this campaign has been launched on 2nd October. So if any of you are trying for state public service examination, so sometime it became important that in which date they have launched. Okay. And how many days campaign was there. So sometimes they go in this much detail. So this you should know. Now let's see more about what is Jal Jeevan Mission. So Jal Jeevan Mission is providing every rural household in the country with piped water connection. So I hope you know what is the piped water connection. So Jal Jeevan Mission is directly related with the piped water connection. Okay. The new logo for the mission shall continue to inspire the need to save every drop of water. Okay. एक बार ही Google कर लेना कि what is the logo of Jal Jeevan Mission. You will be able to understand. Jal Jeevan Mission adopt a bottom to top approach where the user and Pani Samiti in the village envision the whole project from its implementation to maintenance and operation. So basically this Jal Jeevan Mission, it is more like adopting a bottom to top approach, means from the lower level up to the higher level. Generally what happens, even in the village area, or even if you see in the district or the state, generally how the administration works. So generally in the state or district or the country level, the administration work as a top, they follow the top to bottom approach, but here they are following bottom to top approach, means they are giving command to the people who see in the top there will be pradhan and then other members and then other. So the committee or the group of people who comes in the last, so they are getting all the kind of administration power and other things to ensure that every rural household in this country or in this particular village, they will get piped water. So they are the main people who are going to handle this thing from maintenance to implementation of this operation. Okay. The mission has ensured that at least 50% of the member of water committee would be women. So this is important. So let's summarize it. So number one, what we need to understand, Margdarshika is related to somewhere Gram Panchayat and Jal Jeevan mission. Second, Jal Jeevan mission is what is important that I'm giving you summary. Jal Jeevan mission is directly related with the piped water connection. Okay, so this thing you should understand, and this is going to applicable where in the rural area, because in rural area still people have this kind of problem. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can I get it once more, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. So if I have to summarize it, so recently Margdarshika was in the news. Now, what is Margdarshika? So Margdarshika is related with the Gram Panchayat and Pani Samiti under Jal Jeevan Mission. I hope this much is clear, right? Now, we need to understand, I hope you know what is Gram Panchayat. Now, talking about what is Pani Samiti. So basically, what is Pani Samiti? Pani Samiti is it's a kind of a group in a rural area where the participant would be women generally, and they have a group of 20 to 25 women, and they are basically ensuring that the people who are living in that area or the school or the Anganwadi, they will get piped water connection. Okay. Now, this is about Pani Samiti, and this Pani Samiti comes under where Jal Jeevan Mission. Yes, Prajwal, do you have any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So now I hope all of us are clear with the keywords. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
So the next thing that can be important. So what this Jal Jeevan Mission is all about. So this mission is all about to ensure that at least 50%, in our country there is a timeline somewhere around 2024 or 2022. Just cross check whether it's 2024 or 2022. I guess it's a 2024. So they are basically ensuring that uh, in this year, till this year, we are going to ensure that all the people who are living in the village area, they will have access to piped water connection. Okay. Now, what else is important from here, that in this group 50% of the member of the committee would be women. Okay, so this is important. So good thing that they are engaging women in and they're giving charge to women in the administration, so it's a good thing. Okay, so moving on. Okay. Yeah. So Pan India time use survey release. So recently this survey has been released, and prelims ke liye maybe they can ask this question like this survey is about what, and this is basically very important for the mains point of view. Why? Because it cover your areas of society under paper 1 and economy under paper 3. So there can be a multiple question, and sometime just do some homework, or you can go, at least you can try sometime from yourself as well, like what kind of question can ask in the mains examination when it comes to the society or when it comes to the economy. So after reading this data, I will invite you to all to participate in this discussion, that in the mains examination what kind of question can come. So once you'll get this habit, it will be easy for you, and that time even you don't need any person to tell you, okay, this is important, that is not important. Okay. So because clearing this exam is all about, you can say 50-50. 50% your teacher will help you, and then rest 50% you need to do by your own self. Okay. So India's first pan-India time use survey was released. Acha. Now, for prelims point of view, the most tricky part, most of the time we get confused, who is responsible for releasing this survey. So Ministry of Statistic and Program Implementation is responsible. So again, I want to give you one trick. Number one, sometimes it's damn easy to understand, okay, this survey is released by this particular ministry, while seeing the keyword, while seeing the, the nature of any, survey or any report. But sometimes it become very tricky. For example, if I'll give you example of Arogya Setu app. So generally, if we see in the first stance, it looks like that it has been, it comes under Ministry of Home Affairs, but actually some other ministries involved, mighty, okay, Ministry of Information, Ministry of Information. Okay, so before prelims, especially if I talk about the prelims, at least make some quick note where you should write like which ministry is involved in which kind of report, especially those who looks very tricky. And things like this survey, it is very easy. Okay, it's a somewhere, it is a kind of a survey, so obviously Ministry of Statistics will involve. So let's see what survey talks about. So this survey talks about your paid employment and your domestic service, your social activities. Okay. And yes, your unpaid volunteer work. So basically, if I have to, make it precise, so this survey talks about your paid employment, unpaid employment, domestic service, social activities. Okay. Now, what they have tried to figure it out in this survey, basically they have analyzed like how many they were having a comparison between men and women, like men are involved in how much in how many hours, and women are involved in how many hours. Then they have even compared in the domestic service as well, like men, involvement of men and the women, and etc. Okay, so just let's have a look on the data. Well, data is not important, but the difference is important, like the difference between men and women in the various area. So in the paid employment, men, 57% of the people surveyed. So here you can say that generally the in paid employment, men are basically, they are giving almost 7 hours and 39 minutes, whereas if we see the condition of the women, 5 hours 33 minutes. I'm talking about the paid employment. Okay, so definitely we can see there is a huge difference between men and women, working hour. Now talking about the unpaid domestic services. Now what comes under unpaid domestic services? I'm sure you must be knowing, like managing household things at your home. So these things comes under the unpaid domestic services, because the people who are working, especially the women or the men, even it's for example, they're not getting some salary for their work, even if they are involved for the most for for the whole day, but their work is not recognizable, and they're not getting some monetary benefits from those work. So the involvement in unpaid domestic services, men ka 26 hours. Let's have look on the hours, 1 hour 37 minutes. And if we see the women, 4 hours 59 minutes, almost 5 hours. See the difference between 1 to 5, 4 hours. And then we talk about the equality. Okay, social activities. So men 91.4%, women 91.3%. Unpaid volunteer work, men 2.7, women 2%. So we can see the huge difference in paid employment and unpaid domestic services. Okay, Now, what is the objective? What was the objective of such kind of uh, a survey? So the to measure participation of men and women in paid and unpaid activities. See, this is very important thing because if you look, if you will look in our society and if you see the structure, most of the time the work that has been performed by the women is all it's always like people are not giving them those kind of recognition. People are not acknowledging their work. And all these thing I'm not saying because I'm a woman, I'm saying this because we have seen this in the report. And this was in the this is something which generally if we if we talk about the UPSC perspective, so yeah, when it comes to the society, we have seen several questions that is based on the inequality between men and women in terms of the in terms of their payment, in terms of their recognition, in terms of their promotion. Still there are many if I'll talk about uh, job. So still if you compare the difference between the women and the men, even for the same work, women get less amount as compared to the men. There are, I'm not denying, there are many industries where such kind of discrimination is not there, but the ratio is very less. You can say that 80 to 20% ratio. Okay. Now, the NSS report Time Used in India 2019 is the first such pan India survey which was conducted between January and December. So again, this number is not important, like month is not important. Now, paid employment includes job, farming, fishing, mining, other economic activities. So paid employment may still the people who are working at home, especially if they are involved in the household work, it is not considered as the paid employment. So this thing is also there. Now can anyone tell me quickly that what kind of question can come into the in the prelims examination, sorry, in the mains examination, what kind of question they can frame quickly? Any idea?
What is the men's paid ratio in the paid employment?
That is more like a prelims sort of question. uh, Try to make it more difficult, try to okay see, it is somewhere related with the inequality which we can see in our society.
Hmm.
So try to just connect with inequality and some other thing. Any person any person who want to try? Okay, Prajwal, you can also try, but any other person? I think you guys are still sleeping. Okay, anyway, koi baat nahi. So move on. Yeah. So the next okay, our next topic is okay. So this next topic is related with the narco test intrusion into the person mental privacy. So first, I will tell you why this has been in the news. So, and then I will tell you what can come into the prelims and what can come into the mains examination. So, number one, you must be knowing recently there was a case, basically a rape case that happened in the Uttar Pradesh, uh, Hasrat area. I hope you guys are aware of that case, right? So, in that case, people are demanding for the narco test because lots of conspiracy is happening there. Lots of like some people are saying that the prime accused, the person who was accused, actually that day he was not presented, and somewhere 20 to 25 people from the area where he was working, they said that on the date of incident he was presented with them. So when he was there, how can take you can take the name of that person? Some people are saying that it was it was related with their family problems, मतलब दोनों की family के बीच में problem था, victim and the people who has committed that crime. Some people are saying that it wasn't rape, some people are saying something else. So because of all these things, people are demanding for the narco test of the people of the you know uh, they are basically demanding for the narco test of the people who got not convicted actually, who have basically in the radar list. So let's see.
एक्सक्यूज मैम,
Yeah.
नार्को टेस्ट को क्या होता है मैम, उसको मीनिंग बताया मैम।
नार्को टेस्ट बेसिकली देखो ये रिलेटेड तो होता है आपके इस चीज से कि आपको वो सोडियम का कुछ वो देते हैं, इंजेक्शन देते हैं, जिससे कि योर एबिलिटी टू थिंक एंड इमेजिनेशन विल एंड अप देयर ओनली। सो मैंने भी सिर्फ नार्को टेस्ट ही सुना है, फुल फॉर्म तो मेरे को भी नहीं पता है अभी। जनरली लोग नार्को टेस्ट ही
या
बोलते
मैम,
हैं।
या मैम कुछ गलती काम किया तो वो क्या बोलते हैं, वो झूठ बोलते हैं, इसलिए वो नार्को टेस्ट करता है क्या मैम?
हाँ देखो, बेसिकली नार्को टेस्ट का क्या होता है ना कि वो क्या चीजें हैं अभी ये मैं डिटेल में तुम्हें बताती हूँ, बट जनरली व्हाट हैपेंस, इट्स अ काइंड ऑफ अ टेस्ट वेयर they give you a certain kind of injection, and what involves that injection, that I will tell you here only. So afterward your ability to think and imagine will end there only. See, हम झूठ कब बोलते हैं? When we can think something, when we can imagine something, when our brain will function. What happens after that chemical, that if some chemical will go
हाँ मैम,
in into
समझ
our
गया
body?
मैम,
समझ
समझ
गया?
गया मैम। हाँ,
Okay,
कन्नड़ा में बोलते हैं मंपर परीक्षे।
okay, fine. Okay,
हाँ,
okay, thank you बताने के लिए. So yeah,
थैंक यू।
so okay, so that's why this was in the news. Now what the Supreme Court is saying, so according to Supreme Court, it's a kind of intrusion to someone else mental privacy. Okay, so it's a kind of intrusion, जैसे कि हम बोलते हैं कि now we have right for our privacy, and it's our fundamental right. Then sometime I don't know you guys are aware of this thing or not. Like right now, जैसे कि if I talk about USA, so all your details, like even the government, they are having all the observation, they are monitoring you, they are observing you. So sometimes people say that in USA this privacy is not there, people are doing it with the use of digital technology and so on. So now this matter, this narco test, now what Supreme Court is saying, or what Human Rights Commission and other people are saying, that it's a kind of a thing that is basically it's a kind of intrusion into the person's mental privacy. Okay, so let's see what was in the news. So Supreme Court judgment in 2010, 2010 में तो कुछ तो हुआ होगा, अभी याद नहीं है मुझे. So according to that particular judgment, involuntary administration of narco or lie detector test is an intrusion into the person's mental privacy. Okay, so वो इसको अच्छा नहीं बोल रहे थे. Let's see. अच्छा, news क्यों, why this news came into the picture? Because of the recent report that happened in the Uttar Pradesh, and basically the Uttar Pradesh government wants to subject the family members of a recent gang rape victim to these tests. So there was a demand from the family member to the UP government that there should be this kind of test for the victim, for the people who has committed this crime. So iski wajah se ye news important hai. Now what the judgment say? So this judgment was basically Srimati Selvi versus State of Karnataka. This case, again, the case is not important, but uh, I have mentioned the reference. So basically क्या है ये सब कुछ? So basically what State of Karnataka, like उन्होंने क्या अपना judgment pass किया था? So according to that judgment, these scientific tests was actually sufficient to constitute a custodial environment. So matlab this is something okay, first let's have a look, then I will explain. It amounting to restraint on personal liberty. Okay, they're talking about the personal liberty as well. The consequences of such tests can be devastating on the people from the weaker section of society who are unaware of their fundamental rights and unable to afford legal services. Okay, it may involve future abuse, harassment, and surveillance, even leakage of the video material to the news channel for the trial by media. Okay. Such tests are against human dignity and liberty and have long lasting negative effects. So, an individual decision to make a statement is the product of a private choice, and there should be no scope for any other individual to interfere with such autonomy. So, if I have to summarize, so this narco test, what the Supreme Court, what basically, and the High Court, what they find it, it is nothing but it is directly the intrusion into mental privacy. Now, this you can understand as well, like when you are not in your conscious state, like there are chances they can ask other thing as well other than those cases, and for that they can harass you somewhere. It affects your dignity and your liberty, not only your dignity but your liberty. And basically giving statement, making statement, it should be your personal choice. It is your private affair. So this should not be promoted because it is actually hampering the autonomy of the people. Like it's very agar ab human right ke hisab se dekho, so it's very unfair. Uh, like there is a no guideline na ki that the person who is doing these kind of tests, they are only going to be specific about those matter. And sometime you know there can be other things that can come out into the picture. So recently few people have been following the Sushant Singh Rajput case. So wahan pe bhi aisi baatein aa rahi thi ki like what is the point of checking their personal messages जो कि पहले हुआ था. Now it is hampering his dignity and whatnot. So I hope you are able to understand like how these things can impact the basically the dignity of the people. And if the person is alive, so obviously liberty and their future consequences, then leading to defaming and whatnot. So इसको इसीलिए ज्यादा प्रमोट नहीं किया जाता. And I hope you guys are aware of this thing, that this narco test, you cannot for that you need to take a permission from the Supreme Court or the High Court. Without permission you cannot go for these kind of tests. I hope you guys are aware of this thing. Otherwise तो किसी का भी फिर narco test करा देंगे, and this is very inhuman actually. So let's see what is narco test all about. So it's a basically there is a machine like a polygraph, or you can say the lie detector test, that records several psychological indicators such as your blood pressure, your pulses, respiration, and skin conductivity when the while the series of the question has been asked. So basically it monitor your, ऐसा नहीं है कि it's not some magical thing कि they will tell you okay that person is lying. So how they are how the people who are testing, how they get to know okay that person is lying. So basically they check your blood pressure, pulses, respiration, skin conductivity. तो इन सब चीजों से if there is some fluctuation or कुछ difference आता है, they get to know okay that person is lying or something like that. Okay, this narco test analysis involves in the injection of the sodium pentothal. This is important, okay, for prelims point of view. So, which induce a hypnotized state. Like we know that what is a hypnotized state. Like when you are hypnotized, that time your ability to think or imagine will be neutralized. So what the person will ask, जो भी सामने इंसान है, you are going to say those things in the correct way only. Because see, this you can even rethink as of now. Agar if I'll ask you not to think, not to, not just not to think, and if I'll take your ability to imagination, whatever I will ask you, you are going to give the true answer only. Why? Because when you cannot frame anything, when you cannot imagine how you're going to lie on such matter. So this is all about the narco test. Again, summarizing, if I have to summarize, Supreme Court is saying it is intrusion of the intrusion into the mental privacy. It should not be done because it has some long-term consequences, and it can hamper the dignity and liberty of the individual, and it can create a future abuse, harassment, and many more things. Okay, then what else is important? This narco analysis, basically how this test is done. So basically it is involves the injection of the sodium pentothal, which actually which will makes people hypnotize hypnotize. Okay, so the imagination of that person will be neutralized immediately, so they won't be able to reframe anything, and वो सच ही बोलेंगे. Okay, so what about the lie detector test? So this lie detector test basically records your some psychological indicators such as blood pressure, pulses, your skin activities, respiration, and so on. So I hope this is also clear. So for the GS prelims point of view, maybe maximum they can ask you two things. Number one, in the polygraph or the lie detector test, this is basically this has been done, and what are the indicators? So maybe these things you can understand. And another question from the prelims point of view can be like they may play with this word, like the chemical is involved. Basically, what is that chemical? So this is the sodium pentothal. Now talking about the mains point of view, so there can be a question related with the government policy intervention, and like the uh, the role of judiciary, and there is a word, there is a two word. One is the I'm not able to recall right now. uh, Overreach, कहते नहीं, judicial overreach. There is a word judicial overreach, and there is another word related with this thing only, where judiciary, like either Supreme Court or High Court, they sometimes they go beyond their limit. So maybe in that way these questions can come into the examination. Now, okay, Crime in India 2019 report released by NCRB. Now, what is NCRB? So it is National Crime Record Bureau. ठीक है? So let's see 2019 में crime क्या हुआ है. So prelims point of view से important है, means से क्या important है, I will discuss afterward. In prelims, maybe they can ask you question related with SCs, scheduled caste, and scheduled tribes. Okay, and from scheduled caste and scheduled tribe how many kind of question they can frame, maybe related with their commission, maybe related with their power, maybe related with their equality, maybe related with their reservation. बहुत से question पूछ सकते हैं. Okay, now talking about mains point of view, so there can be a question like why there has been rise in terms of the crime committed against scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. So what can be the reason? So there can be a question related from that area as well in the mains. So let's see one by one. There is an increase in the crimes against scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in 2019 as compared to 2018. Okay. crime against scheduled caste has been increased over 7%, and crime against scheduled tribes increased by 26%. Again, number is not important. What is important? Yes, the crime has been increased. Okay. How they can manipulate you? Maybe they can just interlink this. Maybe they can confuse you in the prelims key. From last 1 year, the crime has been increased. The crime that is happening in scheduled tribes, that is or scheduled caste, is higher than the scheduled tribes. So no, scheduled caste में तो सिर्फ 7% का increase है, but scheduled tribes में we can say 26% का. Now let's see highest number of crime against scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So first पे उत्तर प्रदेश, second पे राजस्थान, third पे बिहार. Highest number of cases against scheduled tribes, मध्य प्रदेश, राजस्थान, उड़ीसा. So राजस्थान में दोनों के लिए, राजस्थान comes in the second list in the both areas. Okay. Now crime against women has been increased 7.3%. Cyber crime increased by 63.5%. Okay. Chalo, let's understand few things here. First, okay. Can anyone tell me why this much crime has been increased? Like, what can be the possible reason? Within 1 year, why we can see this much rise?
मैम इंक्रीज होने के कारण है तो हमारा सिस्टम है मैम, सोसाइटी का सिस्टम वैसा है मैम.
According to you, you are saying that system is responsible for increasing the crime against scheduled caste and scheduled tribe?
Yeah मैम, irresponsible मैम.
Acha, irresponsible. Okay. But there can be a chance for that also, na? Ki maybe earlier also the crime was same, but now people are becoming more aware, so they are basically they are now they are more aware, so they are approaching police also. They are approaching to police as well. So that is also one reason कि वहाँ पे crime अभी we can see in numbers क्योंकि increase हुआ है. Earlier maybe there was no report, so we can say in another word as well, like now the government is becoming more serious and they are becoming more sensitive towards SC and STs, so they are.
या मैम लेकिन वो तो यहाँ एजुकेट होते हैं, उसको लॉ के बारे में क्या भी नहीं पता होता है मैम. उसको समझ में नहीं आता है क्या होता है लॉ, उसके बारे में. मैम वो अनएजुकेटेड होते हैं है ना मैम, वो रेप करते हैं ना, वो लोग अनएजुकेटेड होते हैं मेरे बारे में, और उसको लॉ के बारे में क्या भी नहीं पता होते. ऐसा काम किया तो कैसा शिक्षा होता है, उसको क्या भी नहीं क्या होता है मैम, वो क्या बोलता है मैम उसको, they won't understand about law मैम.
So you're saying that scheduled caste and scheduled tribe people, they don't understand law and they are they're less educated.
No मैम, I'm not saying about them मैम. कौन वैसा गलती काम करता है ना मैम, वो लड़का लोग.
It is basically it is not related with any gender. Number one, I want to clarify here. So it's not that it here. See, gender is also this thing is also involved here, but I'm not saying कि यहाँ पे the crime is basically happening against women and men are doing something. No, it is overall. Like this, even you can say between men to men, like जैसे कि बहुत से रॉयट्स होते हैं वेयर यू हैव सीन दैट जनरली कि किसी ने अभी रिसेंटली बैंगलोर में कुछ हुआ था, like some MLA, he did something and then that was related with Muslim of case against STs. So Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Odisha. Okay, now Crime against women has also increased 7.3%, and the cyber crime somewhere around 63%. Okay, and you know what are the things that comes under cyber crimes?
Yeah, ma'am. Hacking personal details and bank details.
Hacking personal detail, bank detail, and so many things. For example, there will be
Government,
people.
ma'am. Government, our national security details, ma'am. Especially, ma'am, such as DRDO, ISRO.
Yeah, that's true. So those things actually comes in the big level. But if I talk about the smaller thing that you can see in your daily life as well. So sometime you get a call from some companies and they will say there will be this scheme, you have to invest this much and then you'll be benefited. Or we are talking from the placement companies, you have to pay 2,000 registration fee and then we will proceed for your interview, like that. I'm talking about the small one, and in the bigger way there can be a many thing. There was a news I think 2 years back that some people hacked even the main like crucial data from IIT Delhi as well. So when it comes to the bigger level, it can go up to that. When it comes to the smaller level, even we people can also face. Okay.
Ma'am.
So
Recently, China had planned to hack our ISRO informations, ma'am. Recent, ma'am. I
yeah,
think 1 week back, ma'am.
yeah. So China always does these things. So okay. So let's talk about let's see what is NCRB. So it's a National Crime Record Bureau. Headquarters is in New Delhi. Comes under Ministry of Home Affairs. So that is important. बाकी तो कुछ important नहीं है. Now what is important? Can anyone tell me here that in which state basically what is that state where the population of scheduled caste is actually zero? Like scheduled caste are basically zero. In which state? Any idea?
Nil, ma'am.
Huh?
Nil.
Nil. Yeah, nil means zero.
Yeah. In all the state, there are ISC and STs, ma'am. I think so.
Which I'm not able to understand.
Ma'am, all the state there will be SC and STs, right, ma'am? In all the state.
No, there are few areas where we do not have even a 1% of population of SCs. Okay. Okay. Any idea which state has the highest number of scheduled caste? Any idea? These kind of
Karnataka.
questions.
Karnataka.
No. Even अच्छा ये भी try कर लो. All the 4 South Indian states: Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, then Karnataka, and Kerala and Karnataka. Even here, Karnataka is not the state that has highest number of scheduled caste. No. Any state, any idea? This is I think ऐसे question prelims में आ चुके हैं. Like which state has the highest number of scheduled caste population? Okay, I will give you one clue. That state actually does not mentioned here. So already 5 states are there. So the state which is having the highest number of scheduled caste is not listed here.
Ma'am, I think Uttar Pradesh, ma'am.
I said it's not listed
it's
here.
an Andhra Pradesh, ma'am.
Andhra Pradesh.
No.
Madhya Pradesh.
Punjab.
Madhya Pradesh. Okay, no. One more clue. It is some northern Indian state. It's not South Indian state. It doesn't come under Central India.
Punjab.
Perfect. Punjab. Correct. Yeah, so let's see. Okay, so this is the basically rising, this is the graph. So in this axis, it is representing scheduled caste. And here they had, basically they have represented this one, scheduled tribes. Okay, and this is the timeline. Now let's see. So basically you can see from within 1 year, you can see the difference. Okay, from somewhere around to 42,000 to 45,000 in SC, and if I talk about ST, so you can see clearly एक साल में कितना crime बढ़ गया है, 6,500 to 8,000 somewhere. So you can see this. Now if I talk about the map, this is the map. So this is Punjab. You can see. So in Punjab, I think 30 to 32% scheduled caste. After Punjab, then we have Himachal. And then, yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, one small correction. So here the Punjab is having percentage of SC population is maximum, but the absolute number of SC population is UP only. The total number of people is different, percentage is different.
Yeah, sir. So the total number of, yeah, that's true. If we compare in terms of the percentage, then it's a Punjab. And if overall,
yeah.
of course, it's UP. Because in UP, the population is high. So obviously, thank you for the, sir, more clarity. Yeah.
And the candidates can easily remember your UPSC examination, UPSC. UP is having maximum SC population. That way you can remember it.
Yeah, UP. Wow, that's a good trick.
Sir.
Yeah, that's good.
Tricky word, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So you can see here, and the state which is not having even a UT which not having even a the percentage is somewhere around 0 to 1%. That is Arunachal Pradesh and Andaman Nicobar and Lakshadweep. Now this is the map of scheduled caste population, and if you compare in the southern state, so Tamil Nadu is having a more percentage of the scheduled caste population than the Karnataka. In Tamil Nadu, somewhere around 20%. Exact number I'm not right now. I don't recall, but Karnataka it's somewhere around 17% only. Okay, so this is the map of scheduled caste population in India. Scheduled tribe ka, this is your homework. Second, what else you can do from this slide? Number one, you got to know ki this basically report has been released by NCRB. Now, the NCRB is nothing but the National Crime Record Bureau, which talks about the rise in the scheduled caste and scheduled crime against scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. That's it. Now, what is important for prelims point of view? So for prelims point of view, what you can remember, what you can do, you just need to understand the constitutional provision in constitution related with SCs and STs, means their article, their commission, their rights, and their members, and yeah, this much. Then under scheduled tribes, you can also read more about, in suppose in UP, what are the famous scheduled, what are the main scheduled tribes in Rajasthan, in Karnataka, something like that, because that is important for prelims point of view, and that is related with your history as well. So that's it for this topic. Now, this is related with your geography. Okay, so let's see. So zombie fire becoming more frequent. As we know, zombie is somewhere related with the half dead person, half dead, right? So let's see what is zombie fire. So first, I will give you a few keywords and then it will be very easy. So this zombie fire involved few things. Number one, we need to understand what is zombie. Then it is directly related with the global warming. Number one. Another thing, it is related with the Arctic region. Third thing, what we need to understand, it is related with the peatlands. Okay, then tundra vegetation. So these are the things which we are going to see in this topic. Now, one by one, we are going to see. So first, I will tell you what is zombie, what is basically zombie fire. So it's a kind of a fire. Okay, so if I talk about zombie fire, so yeah, it is a kind of fire, like as the name suggests, half dead. So suppose this is a Arctic region. Okay, now what happened in the time of spring or in the time of summer, due to some natural calamities or human induced activities, suppose there is some fire in this region. Okay, so when winter comes, basically there will be a heavy snowfall and these fire will end here. But this fire looks like, okay, in reality we feel that, okay, this fire is not present in the upper layer, but actually this fire will be there, but there will be a sheet of, you can say, snow over here. So from the upper surface you may feel that there is no fire, but actually there will be a continuous fire, and you will not see that like any smoke within these fire, but there will be fire inside those sheet, or you can say the small sheet of the snow and the ice and something like that. So it is a very dangerous, and that is the reason why we call it zombie fire, because it's not visible directly, because it is happening inside the like inside the snow sheet. So what is the problem? What is the problem associated with zombie fire? So generally Arctic region, if I talk about Arctic region, so we know this is a land of the tundra vegetation, right? So you also must be knowing there is a word carbon sink. Okay, now what is carbon sink? So carbon sink is related, if I'll write here, what is carbon sink? See, everything is connected, you will understand after explaining all these keywords. So what is carbon sink? So carbon sink is something which absorb carbon more than what it release. So it can be related with anything that absorb carbon more than what it release. So the option is ocean. One is ocean and another is vegetation. And especially if we talk about the vegetation, the Arctic region or tundra vegetation, you can say that. So now this zombie fire, because okay, now due to this zombie fire, okay, this Arctic region, which used to considered as the carbon sink, means which is absorbing carbon, and that was actually helpful for the climate. Now it is becoming carbon source. Now what is carbon source? They are emitting more carbon, and the carbon that is released from this area is permanently lost in the atmosphere, and that increase global warming. And I hope you know what is global warming. So it is a kind of vicious cycle. Due to global warming, due to some man-made activities, due to some natural calamities, there is a kind of fire in especially Arctic region, and that fire actually converting carbon sink into carbon source, that again increasing more carbons into carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, that is helping helping in the global warming. And then again it's a making a vicious cycle, and it's actually problematic for our environment, because the consequences of this fire is seen in the long term. Okay, now what else we need to understand in order to understand this topic clearly? There is a word they have used, peatlands. So basically these are the land which are basically, it's a kind of wetland that contain ancient decomposed and partially decomposed organic matter. So peatland is related with the organic matter, which is very that basically that contains decomposed and partially decomposed organic matter. Now you may have this question, why their organic matter is partially decomposed. So again, you need to use your common sense and basic science that in Arctic region, the temperature is very low, right? Very less. So that when the temperature is less, so there will be a chance that the composition rate will be, decomposition rate will be less. So that is the reason they are partially decomposed. Okay. Now, let's see in detail कि news में क्या है. So I hope you understand all the keywords, right? What is zombie fire? What is peatland? What is carbon sink? Now, where it is happening and why it is problematic? What is the long-term concern? So prelims में क्या पूछ सकते हैं? Basically, what is zombie fire? Where it is originating? What is the carbon sink? What are the things that comes under the carbon sink? So these things can ask in the prelims, and for the mains point of view, maybe they can ask a question related with the global warming, climate change, and so on. So according to new study, the fire regimes in the Arctic are changing rapidly, with zombie fire becoming more frequent. So ऐसा नहीं कि this zombie fire is happening first time. It was there, but it is becoming more frequent. Okay. Fires occurring in the once frozen tundra are also becoming frequent. Again, you can relate this with the zombie fire. The fire in the Arctic spreading to areas where formerly fire resistant is more worrying features. So now the problem is that, suppose if this is the reason, and earlier when the fire was only happening into this much region, now this is exceeding to this region as well, where earlier there was no trace of the fire. So this is also one concern. Now what we can understand from here, so why this is happening? So this is happening mainly due to two things. Due to, you can understand there is a rise in the temperature due to global warming, and because of the rise in the temperature, now the area is becoming more drier in that particular region. And you know, earlier we have discussed about the forest fire. So sometime in the forest, even if men are not involved when it comes to initiating fire, sometimes it happens naturally as well. Why? Because of the dry condition over that particular area. So temperature rise ho raha hai, dryness increase ho rahi hai, that is one reason. Now the fire and record temperature have the potential to turning the carbon sink into carbon source. ठीक है, this I have explained you what is carbon sink, what is carbon source. So now what is carbon source? So jahan se carbon nikle, that is carbon source. Now because of this peatland, because of this continuous fire, this area is becoming a carbon source, okay, which is actually helping to accumulate more carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. The more carbon dioxide, the more temperature will be in that particular area, and then leads to the global warming, rise in the temperature and whatnot. Okay. Achha, what else is important? Like these peatlands do not regrow quickly after a fire. So abhi I have discussed what is peatlands. Okay, so these are the land. Generally, it's a wetland basically. So after a fire, the carbon released is permanently lost to the atmosphere, और ये जल्दी regrow नहीं करते हैं. Okay. Arctic fires will affect the global climate over the long term. ठीक है, ये भी हो गया. Now let's see. Okay. Peatland kya hai that I have discussed you. Peatland are the wetland that contain ancient, decomposed and partially decomposed organic matter. Okay. Nearly half of the world's peatland stored carbon lies between 60 and 70 degree north along the Arctic Circle. So that is the reason कि Arctic Circle का नाम क्यों लिया, because nearly half of the world's peatland. So ऐसा नहीं है this peatland is only connected or situated in the Arctic Circle, but most of half of the world peatland. Okay. Zombie fire is a fire from a previous growing season that can burn slowly without smoke under the ground, which is made of carbon-rich peat. So that I have told you as well. Okay, these are also known as holdover fires. So I hope this is clear. What is zombie fire, where it is happening, what is the reason, how it is creating problem, and what are the long-term impact on the earth of zombie fire. So I hope this is also clear. चलो क्वेश्चन सॉल्व कर लेते हैं. क्या है हमारे पास? Let's solve the question. So question number 1. India's first pan-India time use survey was recently released by which of the following ministry? Ministry of Statistics, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Finance, or Ministry of Commerce? You can drop a message in the chat box. Gayatri, Shankar, Anirudh, Prajwal. Okay. So yeah, all of you are correct only. It is released by Ministry of Statistics. Okay, moving on. Next question. Consider the following statement. Polygraph test involves the injection of sodium pentanol. Narcoanalysis that measures and records several psychological indicators. So Sangvi, Anirudh. Okay. Yeah.
Second one, ma'am. Second one.
No. Okay. So here, actually, the option is neither one nor two, and you can see they have just interlinked. They have just interchanged. I hope you are remembering. Like polygraphic test records several psychological indicators, and narcoanalysis basically involve the injection of the sodium pentothal. So they just had interchanged the options. So neither one nor two. Moving on. Okay, Homeopathy Central Council Amendment Bill 2020 passed. Nothing is, I don't think here any kind of explanation is needed, but it was in the news, so I had covered. So the Lok Sabha passed the Homeotherapy Central Council Amendment Bill 2020 recently. ठीक है, राज्य सभा ने पहले ही पास कर दिया था. This bill amended the Homeopathy Central Council Act 1973. Okay. What is important here? It replaced the Homeopathy Central Council Ordinance 2020. अच्छा, ordinance को replace करके bill आया. That is not important. What is important? What you need to understand, the act sets up the Central Council of Homeopathy, which regulates homeopathic education and practices. So basically, this council basically regulate homeopathic education and practices. One more changes they have done. The period of separation of Central Council has been increased from 2 to 3 years. So what you need to understand basically, this acts basically talks about for the regulation of the homeopathic education and the practice, and the separation of the Central Council has been increased for 2 to 3 years. Now, what is the Central Council? This is your homework. Okay, next. And then I will wind up. Indian Medicine Central Council, back to back, there are 3 to 4 bills related with the medicine. So Lok Sabha passed the Indian Medicine Central Council Amendment Bill 2020. Rajya Sabha ने already pass किया है. Not important. The Indian Medicine Central Council Amendment Bill amend the Indian Medicine Central Council Act 1970. Again, what is important here? It provides the constitution of a central council which regulate the education and practice of the Indian medicine system, including Ayurveda, Yoga, and naturopathy. So naturopathy. So ठीक है, they talk about these three. It replaced the Indian Medicine Central Council Ordinance 2020. ठीक है. Again, this is not important. this council will be reconstituted within 1 year. तो एक साल में they are going to reconstitute. Okay. In the interim period, the central government will be constitute a board of governor which will exercise the power of central council. बोर्ड में 10 मेंबर होंगे. So basically क्या है, there was a bill in 1970, the Indian Medicine Central Council Act, that has been replaced with the Indian Medicine Central Council Bill. What is the difference? Now they are going to talk about and they are going to regulate the education and practice in Indian medicine, especially in 3 areas: Ayurveda, yoga, and naturopathy. Okay. Now the council is going to be basically this council has been replaced Indian Medicine Central Council, जो कि हमारी पहले हुआ करती थी, and within 1 year they are going to make this council Indian Medicine Central Council, Indian Medicine Central Council. Okay. Now in this period, जो भी अभी हमारे पास time है, in that period they are going to interim period, they are going to make a board of governor, or they are going to make a constitute a body, and there will be some board of governor who are going to power of the central council, and उसके members up to 10 members होंगे. जब तक आपका prelims next year आएगा तब तक I think ये council बन चुकी होगी 99%. So how many members will be there, that is not important. What it has, in which area they are going to work, this is important. What they have replaced, so basically they have replaced this act, this is important, and nothing else is important. Okay, so I think it's already like almost 9 o'clock. Let me check how many things are there. Okay. Okay, so one last topic. This is again related with National Medicine Commission again. क्या है, ठीक है, पहले इसी को देख लेते हैं. It's a small topic. So the National Medical Commission, along with 4 autonomous borders, was recently constituted. The old institution of the Medical Council of India stands abolished. So जो पहले हमारे पास था medical to handle all the medical related thing, whether it is education, educational board, medical assessment, rating board, ethics and registration, जो सब कुछ under आता था Medical Council of India के, now that has been abolished and it is replaced by the National Medical Commission, okay, with 4 autonomous board. Along with NMC, the 4 autonomous board of UG and PG, Medical Education Board, Medical Assessment and Rating Board, and Ethics and Medical Registration would have been constituted. So now they will be having a separate board for the examination and the kind of education which are going to involve in the UG and the PG level. So for that they have constituted 4 different boards. So okay, the regulator is now selected on the merit as opposed and the elected regulator. So this is good. This is a good change. Earlier, the regulator used to be selected as a they used to be elected, means people used to vote within that council, but now it is going to selected, like abhi elected nahi hoga, now people, the member or the chairman or jo bhi uske log honge, they are going to be selected on the basis of merit. Okay, so Dr. S.C. Sharma, retired professor of AIIMS Delhi, has been selected as the chairman person for a period of 3 years. Beside the chairperson, NMC will have 10 ex-officio member. So prelims के लिए मे भी पूछ सकते हैं, not prelims, state service examination के लिए पूछ सकते हैं कि recently NMC was in the news, so who is the chairperson of this basically body? So Dr. S.C. Sharma. Okay, so 9 बज गए हैं, let me check. Okay, last topic and then I will wind up. Electric bus under FAME scheme censured. तो देखते हैं क्या है. Prelims में they can ask question related with what is FAME. Okay, that's it. Mains में they can ask question related with the climate change, pollution, the future of electric vehicle, the problem faced by the automobile, the introduction of the this new engine, कहते नहीं है वो Basel 6 and something like that. So now what is the problem associated with, how it is going to benefit? So in subset related there can be a question. So there you can put some few things related with this scheme. So what is the news? In a big push towards electric mobility, the government has sanctioned 670 electric buses in the various states. Okay. कौन-कौन से states हैं? Maharashtra, Goa, Gujarat, Chandigarh, and 214 charging station in Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Gujarat, Port Blair under phase 2 of the FAME India scheme. So in sub states they have introduced the buses, and they have introduced 241 charging station for 241 charging station in the Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Gujarat, Port Blair under the phase 2 of the FAME India scheme. Now we need to know what is the FAME. So FAME is nothing but the faster adoption and manufacture of hybrid and electric vehicles. I hope you know what is hybrid and electric vehicles. And I'm sure you guys, if you are a little bit fascinated towards the car and automobile sector, you must be knowing the kind of scenario is the kind of thing is changing, especially in the automobile area, especially nowadays. Recently the Maruti Suzuki, they have banned diesel cars, and now they have switched to petrol, and there are chances within 5 to 7 years, I think most of the good company, they are only going to make their car, basically they are going to make electrical vehicle only because of the climate and other reasons. Okay, so launched by Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprise. This FAME is launched by Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprise. So what is the objective? To incentivize the production and the promotion of eco-friendly vehicle, including electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles. Okay, so I hope you got the objective. Now the 2 phases of the scheme. So this FAME has basically 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. So in phase 1, basically the phase 1 started from 2015 and completed 2019. Phase 2 started April 2019 and it will complete 31st March 2020. Now let's see what is there in the phase 2. Key features kya hai? So this you can note it down. I will share my slide with sir and you can take it from him, or you can Google it as well. This can help you in mains examination, especially if there is a question related with the climate, automobile sector, pollution due to diesel or other thing, and then the future of the electric vehicle and so on. So it proposes to give a push to electric vehicle in public transport. So remember, it actually talks about giving more importance to the public electric vehicle, especially in the public transport like bus, e-rickshaw and whatnot. It seeks to encourage adoption of EVs by way of market creation and demand aggregation. So obviously, अभी recently बहुत से companies ने अपनी electric vehicle introduce किए हैं. So if they will successful in the future, more people will ask about these vehicles. It will be eco-friendly. It will be good as well, and less maintenance, and so many things are involved. So if they will able, the company will able to run it into the successful manner, or if they are coming with the new technology and new incentives, so there are chances it can take over recent जो अभी हमारा diesel और petrol engine वाली जो cars हैं. So that is also one thing. This bill also talks about the overall growth of the EV industry, including providing for the charging infrastructure, research and development and technology. Okay, so and also like we are going to make it in India, indigenization. Okay, total 10,000 crore has been made for 3 years till 2022 FAME 2 scheme. पैसा important नहीं है, but this you can see now government is taking it in a serious manner. There is also provision for setting up a charging station for electric vehicle in India. Obviously, when we are going to buy electric vehicle, when we will having this assurance that yes, we have charging station. Otherwise, what is the point? घर पे कार लेके कौन रखेगा? The plug-in hybrid vehicle and those with a seizable lithium-ion battery and electrical motor will also be included in the scheme. You should not, you're not supposed to go into this much technicality. Now, what is important? FAME 2, especially, this is very important. FAME 2 will offer incentives to manufacturers, the people who are going to manufacture it. So, again, people who are going to manufacture, they will be having good incentive. Okay, कैसे incentive उनको मिलेंगे? So what is the eligibility? If you want to make some buses under as a under FAME 2 category, and you want some incentives, you will be only buses priced up to 2 crore. So जो भी buses 2 crore के ऊपर होती है, तो वहाँ पे आपको मिलता है. Then strong and plug-in hybrid under 15 lakhs, 3-wheelers under 5 lakh, and 2-wheelers under 1.5 lakh. So this is the scenario. Now what you can do, you can just like think or analyze like why government is giving so much importance to the vehicle. One thing, even a student who was, they can also tell you, obviously due to pollution. One thing, there is a lots of pressure from the different vehicle, this thing is switching from petrol diesel engine to electric vehicles. So what can be the possible reason? Can we relate it with the economy? Can we relate it with the polity? Can we relate it with giving more importance to the Make in India? So all these things, just try to reconnect, and that's it. So in the next class, I will be discussing about the analysis of prelims 2020 and what you can learn from the prelims 2020, and so that you don't make mistake in your upcoming examination, which is in the month of June. So thank you very much, and if you have any doubt, you can ask it in the next class. Thank you.